Whether the Super Bowl, March Madness, or the Masters, we've got some big games coming up, and no sports gathering is complete without a dip, a wing, and some other thing. So, join us for the second annual Game Day Apps video. Alrighty, for our wings, we're going to start with some, wings of course, and to that we're going to add a little bit of baking powder, some lemon pepper seasoning, and make sure you look for the salt-free stuff so you can control the sodium yourself. Add a dash of that. Then of course we'll season it up with some flour and salt. The flour is going to help add extra crispiness as it bakes in the oven. No extra pepper needed, we'll add that at the very end. Go ahead and toss all that to combine. I'm doing a small portion here, but all the written recipes will be down below in the description as per our usual arrangement. Once your chicken wings are well coated, go ahead and lay them out on a sheet tray and air fry those bad boys for about 30 minutes, flipping halfway in between at 400 degrees. If you don't have an air fryer, do them in a convection oven at 400 for probably about 35 to 40 minutes, again flipping halfway through. We'll make our sauce with a couple tablespoons of butter, some lemon zest, some very coarsely cracked black pepper. Give all that a nice stir until it is well combined, that butter is thoroughly melted. And if it's not, really don't worry, those hot, crispy wings are going to make sure that butter is very well melted when we toss them in the sauce. Go ahead and grab yourself a nice bowl, add all of your wings, and toss until they are thoroughly coated in that lemon and black pepper butter mixture. Add a little extra sprinkle of salt if needed. Mine were just perfect. I'm going to add a little garnish of some scallions, and then we'll move on to our buffalo chicken dip. We'll taste everything at the end. We'll grab a rotisserie chicken, cold or warm, doesn't matter. Go ahead and shred that up into nice bite-sized pieces. We want about 2 cups worth here for this particular recipe. To that shredded chicken, we will add 8-ounce block of cream cheese, followed by hot sauce of your choice. Frank's is pretty traditional. I am a big fan of Texas Pete. Add a nice splash of blue cheese or ranch dressing, whichever you prefer. A little bit of sour cream for extra tang. And then, God forgive me, I'm using pre-grated cheese here. Please don't judge me. I'm making like 3 things here in one afternoon. But about half a cup of pre-grated mozzarella, or grate it yourself, along with the same part of cheddar. And some green onions for freshness and that nice onion flavor. Go ahead and give everything a very thorough mixing to combine. It really helps if your cream cheese is at room temperature here. But no worries, if it is not, just stay at it, get it nice and thoroughly combined, and place into an oven baking dish. We'll pop that in the oven at 375 for about 30 to 40 minutes until it is warmed all the way through. You may want to stop about halfway and stir it up to make sure that there are no big pockets of cream cheese or anything sitting in there that aren't warmed through. Plate that up along with any kind of dipping accompaniments that you'd like. I've got some celery, some carrots, and some townhouse crackers. But before we eat that, let's move on to our final recipe here. We're going to have some nice sausage sliders. So I've got some peppers and onions laid out on a baking tray. I'll drizzle them with olive oil, season them with some fresh cracked pepper and sea salt. And then hot, sweet, mild, whatever your choice is, grab some Italian sausages, lay those out, add them to that same 375-degree oven, but not before pricking them lightly with a toothpick so that most of that fat that renders out will flavor our peppers and onions. While those cook, I'm going to grab a pack of Hawaiian rolls, slice them in half, and put that in a 13x9 baking tray for later. Once your sausages are cooked through and your peppers and onions are just starting to get tender, spread down some Dijon mustard over those Hawaiian rolls along with a layer of cheese. I'm using Gouda because I happen to have it on hand, but you could use any kind of cheese that you prefer for this recipe. Lay down all of those tender peppers and onions. Make sure you spread them out evenly so that you get a little bit of each and every bite. And then for the sausages, you want to let them cool for a few minutes and then just slice them in half and lay them down also in an even single layer on top of that bed of peppers and onions. Lay down the top of the rolls, and then we're going to brush the top of this with a couple tablespoons of melted butter that have some garlic cloves and some Italian seasoning added in for even more wonderful flavor. And then we'll pop them back in that 375-degree oven for 10 to 15 minutes or until the cheese is melted, the rolls are nice and golden brown, and it looks just about irresistible. Got those nice toasted rolls, that nice roasted garlic, those warm spices, gooey cheese, Man, this is just a giant plate of delicious looking food here. Can't wait to dive in. Go ahead and grab yourself a serrated knife and cut everything up. You can cut these into individual portions or 2 rolls at a time, really whatever floats your boat. All right, let's check out these wings. Super crispy, got that nice buttery coating. I'm telling you, if you're a fan of Wingstop, these are just about as close as you can get without actually going to Wingstop or deep frying the wings. They are so juicy, but have that really rich, lemony, peppery flavor, and that nice, satisfying crunch. This dip is tangy, not overly spicy, and super creamy and satisfying. Goes great on a nice cold piece of celery or a salty little cracker. Just make sure you blow it off because this stuff is nuclear even after coming out of the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. And finally, these sliders. Those buns are so warm and crunchy. The sausage is perfectly cooked, nice and rich. Those onions and peppers and that tangy mustard, just everything plays so well together. I hope you will give all 3 of these a try this year for any of your big game gatherings. Let me know what you think. As always, thanks so much for watching. Now it is your turn to head out and go make something delicious.